What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So, as I have stated recently, this has been quite a year when it comes to the loss of notable people. I think it ranks up there with 2003, 2016, 2020. 2023 has been one of those years. And we just added to that tally, unfortunately, with the passing of Bobby Knight. On the one hand, Bobby Knight, one of the great coaches of all times, most notably known for his stint with the Indiana Hoosiers, winning multiple national championships, including having an undefeated season. On the other hand, Bobby Knight was, of course, known for his volatile temper, his questionable tactics, his at times inexcusable behavior as a head coach, and his very unorthodox and at times inexcusable behavior when it comes to handling his own athletes, his own kids. Heavy-handed is the very most meek term you could use for the way he handled his kids. But Bobby Knight died today at the age of 83. I'll put a link to this article in the pinned comment in the comment section below. Bobby Knight, the sixth winningest coach in Division I men's college basketball history, whose Hall of Fame career was highlighted by 3 national titles at Indiana, won an undefeated season not since matched, and countless on-court outbursts, died Wednesday according to his family. Bobby Knight was 83 years old. The Knight family said in a statement, "It is with a heavy heart that we share that Coach Bob Knight passed away at his home in Bloomington, surrounded by his family. We are grateful for all the thoughts and prayers and appreciate the continued respect for our privacy as Coach requested a private family gathering, which is being honored. We will continue to celebrate his life and remember him today and forever as a beloved husband, family, father, coach, and friend. In luau of flowers, please consider honoring Coach with a memorable contribution to the Alzheimer's Association or Marian University." You know what? I always suspected that Bobby Knight was suffering from Alzheimer's. I suspected it, but let me read further. Knight became the youngest coach at a Division I school in 1965 when he broke in at Army at 24, but he made his mark in 29 years in Indiana, including winning a school record 661 games and reaching the NCAA tournament 24 times in 29 seasons. Knight's first NCAA title came in 1976 when Indiana went undefeated, a feat no team has accomplished since. In 1984, he coached the U.S. Olympic team to a gold medal in Los Angeles, the last American amateur team to claim Olympic gold. Knight won 20 or more games in 29 seasons, compiling a career record of 902 wins and 371 losses. Knight was eventually forced out of Indiana in 2000 for violating a zero-tolerance behavior policy by grabbing the arm of a freshman student who he said greeted him by his last name. It was the final transgression on a long list which included his most infamous outburst and incident, throwing a chair during a Purdue game, and accusations of numerous physical confrontations. The most notable involved Knight apparently choking player Neil Reed in a practice in 1997. Knight then left to become the basketball coach at Texas Tech in 2001, 6 months after being fired by Indiana for what school officials there called a pattern of unacceptable behavior. In Knight's 6 full seasons at Tech, he led the Red Raiders to 521 seasons, a first at the school. Knight passed former North Carolina coach Dean Smith as the then winningest Division I men's coach, January 1st, 2007, getting career win number 880. To celebrate the milestone, Knight chose the song "My Way" by Frank Sinatra, a mantra for how he navigated his personal and professional worlds. He was born October 25th, 1940, in Orrville, Ohio. Was a prep basketball, baseball, and football star at Orrville High School. While a player at Ohio State, his teams compiled an overall record of 78-6. The Buckeyes won the national title in 1960. Knight was 0 for 1 with one personal foul in a 75-55 win over California in the title game and averaged 3.7 points as a sub that season and captured Big Ten titles during all three of Knight's seasons. As his college career ended, he went into coaching and was an Army assistant when he was elevated to head coach, succeeding Tates Locke. Knight spent 6 years, from 1965 to 71 at Army, going 102-50, then moved to Indiana, where his Hoosiers went 662 and 239 from 1971 to 2000. Dressed in his trademark red sweater, he won national titles there in 76, 81, and 87. He was elected and inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame back in 1991. Previously, Knight had asked not to be renominated to the Hall of Fame, calling the voters' rejection of him in 87 a slap in the face. And history will judge him. Me personally, I think that he was a great coach. I don't think he was necessarily a great person. You could argue that part of him is the result of the generation he grew up in. That's part of it. But not everybody from his generation acted the way he did. Part of it may just be a personality quirk that he had, temperamental. I can understand that I'm temperamental, but I try to control it. Though sometimes, it flares up. But you can't excuse some of the stuff he did. You can't. Even in death, you can't excuse some of the stuff that Bobby Knight did. You just can't. But right now is not a time to pile on. The man just passed away. So I'll just say, rest in peace to a great coach in Bobby Knight. I know Isaiah Thomas sure loved him. So I'd like to hear what Isaiah Thomas has to say about him. Matter of fact, let me see if I can go to Isaiah Thomas. I think he has a Twitter, right? See if he said anything about this yet. Not yet. Hasn't said anything about it yet, but rest in peace, Bobby Knight. Tell me what you guys think. Oh, by the way, I never answered. I just realized I didn't, as I was finished recording this, I didn't go into why I suspected he had Alzheimer's. Because in some of the last interviews he did, it was definitely you could see a decline in him mentally. It was taking him longer to get his thoughts together, shorter responses. Some of it you could attribute to age, but he was only in his late 70s, mid-70s, so it shouldn't be that much of a degradation in his mental faculties just from regular age. And I could see that he was sometimes having problems with his memory, remembering certain things, so I just assumed that he probably was in the earlier stages of Alzheimer's. And, some of the things they say when you're in your earlier stages is to keep on with your routine, and it could help stave off, at least for a while, the eventual true effects of Alzheimer's. So I always assumed that there was something going on, like dementia or Alzheimer's or something with Bobby Knight. And so when I seen that they wanted people to donate to Alzheimer's Foundation, that kind of confirms to me that he probably has Alzheimer's. But anyway, tell me what you guys think.